I saw that going differently in my mind.
For the first time ever, one of my videos got over 1 million views on Instagram and Facebook. Unfortunately, people did not like it. Let's take a look. Be careful what you buy at a yard sale. I got some really cute sheets for my boys. I thought they would love it. Dinosaurs, it even says Dinosaur on it. Thought they were great. Little did I know that on some of them, they say more than just dinosaur. I'm a Christian. We don't talk like this. We don't say these kind of things because we have standards. We don't use our Lord's name in vain. Why would you put OMG on children's sheets with dinosaurs? It makes no sense. This one's shouting mom. Anyway, moral of the story, just be careful what you get at a yard sale. All right, let's take this video apart piece by piece now and see what everyone had to say about it and why they were so unhappy. I got some really cute sheets for my boys. I thought they would love it. Okay, the first mistake I made was stumbling over my words. There were some people who commented saying that I had a speech impediment, wondering what kind of accent I had, wondering if there was something wrong with me. Because I guess we're not allowed to stumble over our words ever. I have never been diagnosed with a speech impediment. My accent is from the Midwest of the United States. I am hard of hearing, so sometimes people would assume that maybe I don't speak well because I'm hard of hearing. I don't see that as the case, but if that's what you think, if you think I sound weird the way that I talk, maybe that's why. It even says Dinosaur on it. Thought they were great. Little did I know that on some of them, they say more than just dinosaur. At this point, people assumed that I was going to show something horrible, and some of the comments were very clear on what they were expecting, and man, some of you people need to get your minds out of the gutters. I'm a Christian. We don't talk like this. We don't say these kind of things because we have standards. We don't use our Lord's name in vain. There's a lot to unpack here. So the first mistake I made was saying I'm a Christian and then we don't do this, we don't do that. Whereas what I actually meant when I said we was my family. I didn't mean to speak for all Christians. I know that there are Christians who say this. I know there are Christians who say this and this. I know there are Christians that say this. I'm not trying to say that what they do is wrong and that all Christians need to change the way that they speak if they do speak like this. What I just meant was that in our family, we don't use these terms. Now, people have said to me, well, Nicole, why do you assume that this means this? Why don't you just tell your kids that it means this or this or this? We like to avoid replacement words as well as the actual words. So some people will replace this word with this word or this word with this word. And while the replacements, in my opinion, are better than the actual words, it's better, in my opinion, to avoid the words entirely and just to say something completely different instead. But I'm not telling other people that they have to have the same morals and standards that I do. And I'm not saying that they have to follow these rules that I have for myself and my family. Now, a lot of people called me judgmental. I try to avoid being a judgmental person. I feel like in a lot of ways I am very kind and accepting towards people. Did this video come across as judgmental? Well, it was not my intent at all, but because so many people felt called out by it, maybe it was judgmental. Maybe I need to be a little bit more careful about the things that I say. This video was not something I rehearsed and planned for days upon end before recording it. No, it was a spur of the moment. I was doing laundry, putting sheets on beds, things like that. I was like, oh yeah, I remember when I bought these. Let me make a quick video about it. Hit record, made a 38 second video, and posted it pretty quickly online. It did not take much time, and I didn't think too deeply about it because I didn't really expect a lot of people to watch it because I've never gone viral before, besides for one video on TikTok that got 500,000 views, which wasn't even of me, it was of my brother. That's another story entirely. But I'm used to getting maybe 8 likes on a video and 2 comments. So for this to go viral, of all things, I was like, oh, wasn't expecting that. If I had been expecting it to go viral, I probably would have worded things in a different way. But then again, if I worded things in a different way, maybe it wouldn't have gone viral. A lot of comments also said, wait, you're a Christian. Don't you reject the idea of dinosaurs? Don't you say that dinosaurs don't exist? No, I love dinosaurs. A lot of Christians believe in dinosaurs. I don't have the time in this video to explain why I believe in dinosaurs and why some Christians do not believe in dinosaurs. But if that's a video you're interested in seeing, let me know in the comments and say, hey, tell me more about why you believe in dinosaurs or why some Christians don't believe in dinosaurs. I'd be happy to talk about it. Now we get to the part about where I said I have standards. And some people took that to mean that I was implying that other people do not have standards. Like if you say this or anything like it, you don't have standards. That's not what I meant to imply. I am very sorry if it came across that way. I just meant that I have standards in regards to this when I know that some people don't have standards in regards to it. And there are things that other people have standards about that I don't have standards about. Everyone, I believe everyone has standards in life. And everyone has different standards depending on their beliefs and how they were raised and how they're choosing to live their lives. People are saying that I think that everyone should have the same standards as me. No, I don't think that everyone should have the same standards as me. People are telling me that I'm speaking for all Christians when I shouldn't be. That is true. I should not be speaking for all Christians. I wasn't trying to speak for all Christians, but I can see why it seemed like that because I was just speaking really fast in the video, made it really short, and if I had kind of slowed down a bit to actually explain what I really meant, then it would have been a little bit more clear. People have said, why are you crying about sheets? Did we watch the same video? At what point was I crying? People think I was so worked up and upset. That's just how I talk. Like, I talk with a lot of passion and enthusiasm and drama. I do consider myself to be kind of a dramatic person. I am not super upset about these sheets. I'm not super worked up. I'm sorry if you guys think I was losing sleep over these sheets. I was not. In fact, I still have them. In fact, they're on my kids' beds right now because I came to the conclusion that my oldest, who does know how to read, if he does actually stop and look at his sheets and tries to sound it out, it would be which could be interpreted as a sound that dinosaurs make when they're eating. So yes, the sheets are still currently in my home, and I don't know if or when I will get rid of them, but if I do, I will let you know since the internet seems to care so much. Another thing I got a lot of comments about was using the Lord's name in vain, and people saying, that's not what that means. There are a lot of ways that people interpret that commandment. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. One way that I interpret it, and I believe this is correct, is that you shouldn't use his name flippantly. You shouldn't just say it when you don't actually mean it, when you're not saying it with the right intentions, when you're not actually calling out to him. Now, some have told me, well, it's not his name, it's a title. God is a title. God has a name. Do you not know your God's name? Yes, I'm familiar with various names of God, such as Yahweh. I'm not going to use God's names, any of those names, in vain. I'm also not going to use his title in vain either, because I hold it sacred. People have told me that using God's name in vain means that saying you are doing something because God told you to, when really it's just you doing that. Starting a war, eliminating people because God told you to do it. Yeah, that's wrong too. Yeah, that's another way of using God's name in vain. And those are more serious ways, as opposed to just flippantly saying God without actually talking about God. So yes, there are different ways that people misuse God's name or use his name in vain. And I was talking about a more casual and common way. And there are much more severe ways that it happens as well. Some people, I think, felt very called out by it because they use it without even thinking that it could be offensive. And it is very, very common. And yet, just because something is common doesn't necessarily mean that it's right. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you're right or wrong if you say this, but I'm saying it's a conviction that I have for myself and my family that we're going to avoid saying it. And I'm not condemning you to hell. I don't have the ability to do that. And I don't know your heart. So if people are saying things like this, but they're actually calling upon the Lord, they're actually talking about him or talking to him, they have good intentions in their heart, that is perfectly fine. I don't understand why people would say this phrase if they don't believe in God. I know that there are some people that they say this in place of this because that's how they want to say it. I'm not judging you. I'm really, truly not judging you guys. I was just saying that, this is something that my family doesn't say. That's all I was trying to say. But people have said to me, well, you can't expect people to not put these things on sheets because not everyone is a Christian and not everyone has the same standards as you. Yeah, that's true. I would not be shocked if I saw this on various shirts and sheets and clothes and things like that. But what surprised me was that they paired it up with dinosaurs. What is the connection between this and dinosaurs? I just don't understand the connection when someone says, let's make dinosaur sheets, and what should we put on them? What should the dinosaurs be saying? I know, how about this? Does it make sense to me? This part of my video also confused some people. This one's shouting mom. Anyways, moral of the story, just be careful what you get at a yard sale. They were like, what problem do you have with them saying mom? I don't have a problem with mom. I was just saying that as an example of, look how random these sheets are. This dinosaur is saying this. This dinosaur is saying that. Like, it seems very incredibly random, but no, I don't actually have a problem with the word mom. Now, people have called me all sorts of rude names and things like that, and some people take it very extreme things that I was surprised that they would say about me. But I've got thick skin, so I'm not like upset or offended by it, but I am surprised because I wasn't expecting so many negative reactions. And the final comments I believe I needed to respond to were comments about why are you buying sheets at a yard sale, implying that that's gross, disgusting, that kind of thing. Well, I don't see it as that bad because, first of all, reduce, reuse, recycle. Second of all, I have a washing machine, so I can wash them before my kids use them. Third of all, every time you go to a hotel, you are using sheets that other people have used, and you are trusting that they have been washed, and that's why you use them too. So if you use sheets at a hotel that other people have used, what's wrong with using sheets that you got from a yard sale? Other questions, comments, anything like that, let me know in the comments. I would love to respond to you guys. I've been having a lot of fun responding to the people who commented on Instagram and Facebook. Unfortunately, it did reach a point where I could not respond to every single comment that every person left because it was a lot. So I will leave you with these final thoughts. I believe in dinosaurs. I believe in God. I believe that you are an awesome person, and I'm not judging you for how you choose to live your life. I believe that everyone has standards in their life, and I'm not trying to say that anyone does not have standards. And you're awesome, and thanks for watching my video. I think that's all I have to say, but if I find out there's more I have to say, I guess I'll just have to make another video. But that's all for now. Love you. Bye.